a podcast of storytelling and interviews with your host, Winter Olympian Mercedes Nichol.
Thank you so much for dropping in on episode 28. This is series 6, where I'm talking to retired athletes to find out what it was like to be on the road for all those years being an elite athlete. I was on the road for 20 years, so I now have a lot of stories, and I have a lot of friends that have some stories too. So let me introduce episode's 58 guest that we will be dropping in with. Now, something special about this guest, she happens to be my twin. Not like literally, but we have the same birthday, the same year. We both placed 6th at the Olympics. Hers happened to be in Beijing 2008 at her Olympic debut in 200-meter breaststroke. She took home 6th place, which I think is really respectable. She's an amazing human. And at those games, she raced 3 times for Team Canada in the 100-meter, 200-meter breaststroke, as well as the 4x100-meter medley relay. That's a mouthful. That's not all that she has done. March 14th, 2009, at the University of Toronto pool, Pierce broke her first world short course record in the 200-meter breaststroke. Now, she posted a time of 2:17.5. But she's also broken 3 other world records that she just reminded me of. In the full length and the short length, she's a phenomenon, this woman. She won the Canadian Intervarsity Sport Female Athlete of the Year in 2008 to 2009. She won a bronze medal in the 200-meter breaststroke at the 2010 Pan Pacific Championship. She's won a world championship silver medal. What hasn't she done? Then 2010 hit, and it was a little bit of ups and downs for her, catching dengue fever while competing at the 2010 Commonwealth Games in Delhi. She respectably finished 5th in both the 100-meter and 200-meter breaststroke events. And she also took home, mind you, she had dengue fever, took home the bronze in the 4x100-meter medley relay. She has a degree in psychology and is currently an elementary school teacher in Ontario. She is married to another Olympian, bronze medalist paddler Mark Aldershaw, and they both have 2 beautiful girls together. This friend, mother, daughter, sister, wife, teacher, world record breaker, world championship medalist, and Olympian knows what it's like to be on the road. Let me introduce Annamay Pierse Oldershaw. Girlfriend, you've done so much.
Hi, twin.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm better to see you and hear your
Mhm.
voice.
Oh my goodness. And also twinnies, like I'm pretty sure I've woken you up the past 3 years on your
I
birthday.
know. I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. The fact that I have a lot of friends that are on the 5th of December, but not that are in the same year, which I
Mhm.
love. I love.
Right.
Okay, are you ready to drop in? We start with 10 rapid fire questions that are never rapid that you have not seen or heard before.
Born ready.
Okay. Again, they're never rapid to my listeners. They know this. Number 1, what is the one thing you traveled with that was a must-have for your sport?
Must have that I traveled with.
Mhm.
Well, not so much for bathing suits. Bathing suits and goggles, lots of them.
Okay.
And then I always had to travel with my pillow.
Oh, I used to travel with my pillow.
Yeah, it was the reason I traveled with my pillow is because way back when I was just like a little tot, I got Mark Tewksbury's book for Christmas one year from my
Okay.
parents.
Yeah.
And reading that book like changed my life about wanting to be an Olympic athlete. And
Okay.
Mark always said that no matter where he went, he had to bring his own pillow. So obviously, little Annamay reading this as a 10-year-old, 9 year no, I was 9.
Doing it.
Well, I better bring my pillow everywhere. So that's what I
I
did.
love that. That's good. That's like a little inside scoop. I like it.
Thank you.
Number 2, who would be the most high profile contact in your phone right now?
Oh my gosh. Most like
Could
high profile.
human. It could be an athlete. Like a lot of people say Olympians, and it's
I
whoever
don't know,
you
there's
think.
there's lots of Olympians, but then also, like, Ron McLean
Oh, that one's good.
and, um, I don't know. I like never clean out my phone, so there
I
could be
know, neither
something
do
like
I.
way back, like
We should compare phones
or maybe
because
like
I don't
Ryan
either.
Lochte. I think he's probably like the biggest star who'd be in my phone, maybe.
Right.
Maybe. Yeah, probably.
Okay. Number 3, top song or playlist that you are listening to lately.
Uh T Swift, like any of
Classic.
her new stuff. I mean, new recorded, like the Taylor version. The Chicks, going to them very soon, or I guess in the summer. And then because I have 2 little kids, Encanto soundtrack.
Oh, I know all the parents are listening to that. Yeah, yeah. That's not
It's
bad though.
so good though. It's so good though. And then I was wondering, I don't know, is there something else? Those are probably top.
Nice. Okay,
And then
number
Silly Little
oh,
U2. I've like been listening to that.
you too?
Yeah.
Oh, because it was forced to go onto your phone?
No, not that stuff, like the old stuff, the like really good stuff.
I know everyone was confused when that happened, even I was. I was like, I'm not sure. Okay. Number 4. If you could go back to an Olympics, would you choose winter or summer? Because you've gone to the Youth Olympics and those were
Yeah.
winter.
I
They're
mean,
pretty cool.
the kit for winter is amazing.
All the clothes that we get. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But the next Summer Olympics are in Paris, and
I
that's like
know.
the dream.
Yes. Should we just go together?
Done.
Okay, sold.
Yeah.
Okay, number wait, did you choose? You chose summer
I think
because of
summer
Paris.
Paris. I'm gonna go to Paris.
Okay. Number 5, if you were invisible, what is the first thing that you would do?
Uh, rob a bank.
No, that's the first thing that always comes to my mind, and then other people have come up with, like, really nice ideas.
No, do you know how hard it is to buy a house these days? Like, we're trying to upgrade and, like, you can't get anything, so I mean, I'm playing the lottery, but the chances of that are like, the chances of me winning the lotto is probably the same as me becoming invisible and robbing a bank.
Oh my gosh, I love we are twins. This is awesome. Now this could be a different one though. Number 6, big city or small town?
I used to be a big city.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, I still kind of live in a big city because I live in Hamilton.
Yeah.
Um, but really, as long as I live close to water,
Mm,
I'm okay.
okay. So really it doesn't matter.
Doesn't
Number 7, what would you say the biggest risk that you have taken is?
Oh gosh. Um, I've taken a lot of risks.
Mm,
Uh, like swimming wise, probably like buying into the program, like swimming with my coach, where I was just like, all right, whatever this guy wants, I'm gonna do.
okay.
That was a huge risk, like really,
Trusting your coach.
like just with no sort of background, no idea of what it was gonna be like, and just going for it.
Love
That
that.
was pretty big. I kind of when I retired, like dropped everything and moved moved east to be with
Yeah,
Mark. That was a pretty big one.
that is big. You also have 2 children.
Well, I do now.
That's a pretty big risk.
Yeah.
Nice. Those are good. Those are good. Number 8, after you retired from swimming, did your view on the Olympics change at all?
Um, yes and no. Um, I think one of the biggest changes I've had around well, I think over the last like 2 years, my view of the Olympics has changed a lot.
Okay.
And just like that equity piece and kind of the corruption, more of the corruption that you see now. I mean, I think it was always there, but just being on the outside where
Yeah.
you know what the inside's like and then seeing the outside, I think that's been a huge change.
Mhm.
I am still a massive Olympic fan.
I know, let the listeners know, like, what kind of like, how big of an Olympic fan you are, because this actually was a surprise to me. This is where we are not similar, because I was not an Olympic fan. It was not my dream to go to the Olympics,
Oh
and
my
you are,
gosh.
like, all in, you know everything about everything.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, it like since the age of 7, like the Olympics were my dream. And now I'm just such a fan. And yeah, like knowing all the athletes, knowing about the sports, like really wanting to be so part of it, like still wanting to be such a member of the community.
Yeah,
Yeah, huge fan.
it's
Huge fan.
if you have any Olympic questions, she has your answer. I will research that question, but Anime will have it,
Most
like,
likely.
in her brain.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, number 9, what would you say is the best way to travel?
Um, I mean, I've gone on like a private jet once. That was
Yeah,
pretty sweet.
yeah.
Um, the best way to travel is traveling with friends and family.
Yay.
Yeah.
That is true. Number 10, the last question. What would you say are the top 3 places that you have traveled to?
Oh, this is like impossible.
Hot places, cold places. Probably
Uh,
all hot.
no, they're not all hot. I mean, there's so many places in Canada that I like absolutely adore. Um, so traveling around Canada, that's just gonna be one
Okay.
because Canada works.
Canada, one of the biggest
Canada, there we go.
countries. Okay.
Going to Switzerland was
Ooh.
pretty amazing.
Yeah, so for the listeners that don't know, Anime was chef de mi I didn't actually put this in your bio. Anime was chef de mission at the last, Youth Olympics in 2020, which happened to be probably both of our last trips before the global pandemic hit.
Before the world shut down, literally, I was in the would be in like our office and like listening to the COC staff being like, so, and like our security guy being like, we can't go to China. Oh, this is like big. This is bigger than anyone's saying it is. And we
Yeah.
were just like, no, no, no. And then got home and the world shut down.
Yeah.
So that was the thing. Um,
And Switzerland was beautiful.
oh, it was amazing.
Yeah.
Also, like, but the company and like the people we were with.
Mhm.
Um, oh my gosh, I've always found this the hardest question.
Oh,
Like Thailand, I've been to Thailand. That was bananas, amazing. Um,
that's 3. I mean, you named
okay,
3. You don't have to keep going.
good. Yeah.
But I would love to hear more. That was the rapid fire. I feel like we did that in record time.
Wow.
Congratulations.
I like records.
Yeah, you do. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's talk about you traveling with the Canadian national swim team. How did that work? Like, guys, girls, you always going somewhere hot. I feel like you guys always go to Hawaii or something like that.
We were
What's
in
the deal?
Hawaii a lot.
Give me the
Also,
inside scoop.
yeah, we swimming. I mean, we never went to anywhere cold for like training camps because it was all about being able to train outside and just getting away from
Oh,
distractions
not
of
in a
school
pool?
and school. Oh no, you were in a pool, but it was like an
Oh, I
outdoor
mean, like,
pool
sorry, I just thought indoor pool. Why would you train in
Yeah.
an outdoor pool?
At when we went somewhere hot
Yeah.
to get like nice sun and
Is this a
fresh
stupid
air.
question, but aren't all your races inside?
No,
A lot of
no,
them are outside.
in the summer, yeah.
Okay, keep going. Obviously, I've watched all your races. No, I have not.
Um, yeah, no, I mean, it depends on the pool. It depends. Like the Olympics in Beijing were indoors, London indoors, Rio were like half. They had like a roof sort of thing, but it was like
Okay,
open walls.
okay.
Um,
I didn't
Tokyo
I
was indoors.
I just assumed so I'm not wrong. A lot of the Olympics are indoors,
Yes.
but then you're qualifying, there's indoor, outdoor.
Yeah. And
Okay.
then even like world champs in 2009 were outdoors. Um,
And
you
are
know,
they all chlorine or are they salt too?
uh, I think usually chlorine. Chlorine or like a bromide. No, no, not always, because the Victoria pool is like a UV light thing. Yeah, which
I
I
remember, okay, when I was a tiny human, I um, was a member at the cricket club, and we were going to a race somewhere, and I dove in, and I was like, opened my mouth. I was like, "What is this?" I'd never been in a saltwater pool, and it was
oh,
a
yeah.
race, and I was
It's
like,
no, we never I don't think we ever race in salt because
"Okay,
it's more buoyant.
okay." And so, would you travel with the guys and girls teams
Yeah,
always together?
yeah,
Okay,
because swimming was always is always co-sport,
yeah,
co-ed.
yeah,
So we pretty much always had like sometimes we would have like a girls team like national trip or like a
okay.
relay trip or but usually it was always every like both genders who swam.
That makes it more fun sometimes.
Oh yeah, it was
Did
super
you all
fun.
get along? Like,
No.
no. Is it like figure skating? Is it like this?
For some people, like yeah, I mean, there's when you have a huge team, like swimming was so big, you've got lots of very different personalities.
Okay, and how many people would be on the team that you would be traveling with?
Sometimes like 30.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like lots, like big.
Oh, of course you wouldn't get along with everyone. We would travel with like 4 to 6 girls and then like 4 to 6 guys. You're
Yeah,
kind of forced to get along.
we had way bigger teams than that. So yeah, I know we didn't always
Wow.
get along. Um, but you kind of like everybody had their group that they were with and got along with.
Yeah, yeah. Would you play like any games while you're on the road? We played Settlers of Catan back in the day.
There were settlers. I remember in like we went on to staging camp in Singapore before Beijing,
Yeah.
and we stayed at this sports school in Singapore, and there was like nothing to do, and we played Call of Duty, a lot of Call
Like
of Duty.
that's like a video game.
Yeah,
No. With
yeah.
the did you have headpieces in?
I think it was. I mean, it was like what 12, 14 years ago. Oh my god,
Wow.
like
I
it was a
know.
long time ago. So
Oh,
we played that, which was
okay.
super fun, but it's like the only time I've ever played video games.
I love
I'm not a
that.
video game person.
I
We played cards. There was always like cards like um crib or hearts or something like
yeah. Do you have any like crazy stories, like memories from being on the road with everyone?
oh my gosh. Oh god, India was such a disaster.
What happened? Oh, what happened in India?
Well, everybody got sick because
That's when you got dengue fever.
yes, but like everybody also got Delhi belly. So,
Oh, I feel like that happens to me everywhere I go.
oh no, this is like next level
What
where
do you
like
mean
people
next
were
level?
like passing out and like
Shitting
shitting
themselves.
themselves.
No.
Yeah,
I'm not laughing, but I'm laughing.
like and the doors so like the village where we stayed was not finished
Okay.
and the doors were literally the hardest thing in the world to unlock.
Oh
And
no.
so you'd be like running to your room trying to get in because you were about to shit yourself and you couldn't.
Oh no.
And I know you've you've talked to Martha McKay before, and Martha would call it puping, where you'd be puking and pooping at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
And the very famous line, oh my god, because you just sort of had to laugh about it. And we would be in the ready room, and the 200 breaststroke girls, we always talked to each other. We were always really chatty. Well, pretty much all of us.
Yeah.
We're like super chatty. And I remember sitting there with Liesl Jones from Australia, and she's like, yeah, you just can't trust a fart these days.
Oh my gosh. Damn it.
It was so true. Like just disastrous.
Delhi, you're a write-off, but you still competed really well or raced
Oh,
really
no,
well.
it
Like
was
how
terrible. It was terrible racing.
oh, was everyone kind of on the same level though? Like did
Yeah,
everyone got
like
like
no,
every country got sick?
yeah, no one did very well.
Oh,
So, oh yeah, Delhi was a disaster. I mean,
Delhi.
India's super cool, and like I'd always wanted to go.
Yeah.
I mean, super unfortunate, bad luck that happened to me.
Oh
Oh, but and
dear.
then where else? Like, I mean, there was always we'd go on training camps, and I don't know. I mean, there's always like the party stories, like Beijing. Literally, we partied for like 10 days straight.
Were you early
Yeah,
in
we were
the
done first week.
Oh, and then it's just go time.
Oh, it was a disaster. Like, we'd get up in the morning, we would tour
Yeah.
around Beijing, we would go shopping, etc. We would go see events. We would
Yeah.
like
Cheer on
come
Team Canada.
home, have a disco nap,
Yeah.
go to Canada House, like pregame at Canada House, and then we would go to the bar at midnight and get
Yeah.
home at 4.
Yeah, and do it all over again.
All
I
over.
know, it's so awesome. I mean, you train so hard that, like, when you're there, you just have to indulge and enjoy the moment because it's over so fast.
Oh, it was so much fun, but oh man, I think we all went through a bit of withdrawal after
Now,
that.
so after Beijing, did you have more races, or are the Olympics, like, the end event for swimming?
They were the end event. Um, yeah, for us, and then we had some time off. Whereas like World Championships in 2009 in Rome, we went straight from Rome to Leeds in England
Yeah.
for like British nationals, which was
Why
kind
would
of
you go to
weird that
British
we did that.
nationals? Is
Well,
that
I don't
weird?
know. I don't really know why we did it, but we had this like massive Canadian team, like probably like 80 Canadians.
Okay. Going
But it
to
was awesome
British nationals.
in Leeds of all places.
I always wanted to do British nationals for snowboarding because my parents are both English, and I
Yeah.
almost did change a couple times to that team.
Mhm. But I
Cool,
mean,
okay, in Leeds.
it ended up being cool because I broke 2 world records there, so
No big deal.
no big deal.
That was a good race for you.
That was yeah, it was some pretty good racing.
It is funny when you peak as an athlete, like, sometimes you don't expect it. I don't know, maybe you were expecting that.
Oh, yeah.
You were, yeah.
Yeah.
In, 2010, I peaked almost at the Olympics and then also after the Olympics.
Mhm.
It's such a wild ride. Oh my gosh. Anywhere else okay, like, you've just named so many places in the world that you've been. Where is somewhere that you, like, haven't been that you want to go?
Paris.
Oh, you haven't been to Paris, period?
No. I
I
know.
can't believe we're actually friends.
I know. It's the most shocking thing, especially with, like, how much I love fashion and
Oh my gosh.
yeah, no, I know.
Okay. Well,
Paris.
I will tell you one thing about my journey to Paris. I've gone with my brother. I highly recommend the double-decker bus tour wherever you go. I do it almost every time I go
Mhm.
anywhere. And then don't don't walk to the Eiffel Tower. My brother's like, "Oh, it's just over there. It's right over. It's super." We walked for like 4 hours to get to the Eiffel Tower. Never trust a nickel. But I will go to Paris with you any second. I will
I
go.
know, I know.
Amazing. Wild. Any, like, other crazy stories about teammates and, like, was there crazy rivalries where you didn't talk to people? Like, do you have to sleep in the same room as people that you didn't like?
Not usually, like, we got to pick our roommates pretty much,
Oh, that's
so,
nice. That's nice.
like, I mean, there was probably, like, more rivalry within my training group than there was, like, with other
Oh,
people. I
okay.
mean, but then I trained with, like, Martha McCabe and my sister
Yeah.
Hannah and Haley Johnson and Tara Van Bylen, so, like, we had this, like, insane breaststroke posse.
Yeah,
So, I mean, there was definite rivalries there where we would get, like, super pissed off at each other in practice.
right.
So but that's,
But
like, all part of it.
no, totally, totally. I try that's one reason I left figure skating is because it was getting, like, too competitive between me and one of my friends. And
Mhm.
then, turning to snowboarding, I was, like, more hung out with guys and just tried to push each other, which I really loved.
Yeah.
Every sport's different, that's why I love learning about it, it's so cool.
Mhm.
How many times would you go to Hawaii in a year?
Usually just once, but we'd be there for a month or, like, a few weeks. A couple years we went twice.
Okay, and would you be
Which is
staying at,
good.
like, a hotel or what was the deal?
Um,
Houses?
sometimes we stayed at hotels or, like, we would have, like, apartment hotels.
Okay.
And then one year we stayed at the America's Next Top Model mansion,
Wait, like, literally?
like, literally the mansion that they used in America's Next Top Model. It was
Bougie! Look at you go, Canadian athlete.
it was so bougie, but there was, like, there was so many of us who stayed there. That was a bit of a rough, like, we were all up in each other's business for, like, 3 weeks, and it was a little
Right.
much.
Like
I mean,
one kitchen. Are you all using the same kitchen and all
yeah, I
like
mean, our dietitian came with us and she cooked,
okay.
like, our dinners, but it was, yeah, like, one kitchen, like,
Elbows out.
yeah, it was, yeah, it was amazing. It was also, like, a really, for me, it was right after, like, it was I guess, February of 2011, so, like, after having dengue, and I was a disaster, and I remember being there, my hair was falling out in clumps.
Pardon me?
Yeah, I lost a lot of hair after getting sick. It
Oh
was brutal.
my god. Is that from, like, the stress?
It's just a symptom of dengue.
Oh my
Yeah, good
gosh.
times, good times. So I was like, "Oh gosh," and I was a disaster, and I, like, couldn't train very well,
Yeah.
and yeah, and then living,
Hawaii.
3 of us, there was 3 of us living in, like, 1 room.
Yeah.
It
I
was
don't miss that, really.
I
Like,
don't miss that.
yeah. That's like just for the listeners, like, sometimes they like, people think, "Oh, it's so glamorous. You get to travel everywhere," but, like, you sometimes are literally, like, on top of each other, and
Yeah.
just did you guys ever have like, okay, so you had a chef or with you cooking, but did you ever, like, group together to make meals together if you didn't have
Oh,
that?
always,
You
all the
would,
time.
yeah. And what
Yeah,
was, like, your go-to meal that you would cook?
pasta.
Pasta. I know. My teammate Brad Martin would always make this, like, salmon. I think it's the only thing he knows how to make.
Yeah, like, you would do whatever you could do fast, and then
Yeah.
probably kind of on the weekends when you had more time, you would make something nicer. We would do, like, burgers. I remember Scott Dickens used to make these insanely good burgers. Oh my gosh.
Oh.
So we would barbecue burgers. Um, but yeah, we would, like, cook together or cook with our rooms, but it was never really that glamorous. Like,
No.
you were on top of each other. I mean,
Yeah.
it's awesome when you're, yeah, like, in your 20s and you're like, "This is amazing."
Yeah. And then, if you were in hotel rooms, was it like, were you going out to eat? I just find this fascinating as to, like, what you guys would do for food because fueling an athlete is a lot, and sometimes you're in a hotel room and there's not much to go with.
Yeah, there would usually, like, if you were in a hotel room because you were there for a competition,
Yeah,
you were usually staying at, like, one of the host hotels.
with the
So they
buffet.
would have a section, like, in one of the conference rooms or whatever, where there was, like, a buffet
Yeah.
that, like, all the athletes who were staying there would eat
Mhm.
from.
Right, right, right.
You
Too
kind of had a
funny.
little bit of choice, and it was okay.
Yeah.
Um, but then it's also like, "Okay, I'm done with this." Like, it's always good for the first moment, and then you're like, "I can't do
Yeah,
this
I know.
all
I know.
days."
I totally hear you. Um, Anna May, thank you so much for dropping in. Where can people find you online?
You can find me I'm on Twitter. I think it's Anners Pierce,
Yeah.
and I'm on Instagram, and I think it's Annamay Pierce. I never
Perfect.
remember. Yeah.
Awesome. Anything else you'd like to share?
Just, dream big. I don't know.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one. Well, thank you so much for dropping in. It's always great to see my twin.
Oh, it's great to see you, Twinnie.
So much for dropping in today. You can find everything you want to know about dropping in with Mercedes at droppinginwithmercedes.com. Don't forget to subscribe on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. Thanks DJ Kenosis for the music and my mom for the intro voice.